Jacob Chansley, also known as the QAnon Shaman, is getting ready to be in court for being part of the Capitol riot. So now he's, of course, well known for being the guy with the horns and the fur, and for wanting to testify against Donald Trump during his impeachment trial for, I guess sending him to the Capitol. That's what he says, right? So now Trump was basically excused from that by cowardly Republican senators. And so as a result, he got off scot-free. All right. But Chansley's in a difficult position. All right. So Chansley can't really go back to the MAGA crowd. Not necessarily. I think he's going to get a little criticism for that. So here's what he's doing. He's going to try defending himself by saying, well, I was there, but I was trying to keep order. I was trying to protect the Capitol against some of these rioters, who I totally agreed with. Now that, of course, is a new twist. So let me show you a little excerpt from an interview with on 60 Minutes here. And then I want to read it just in case it gets nuked by copyright. So let me show you that first. Take a look.
My actions on January 6th, how would I describe them? Well, I sang a song, and that's a part of shamanism. It's about creating positive vibrations in a sacred chamber. I also stop people from stealing and vandalizing that sacred space, the Senate. Okay, I actually stopped somebody from stealing muffins out of the break room.
Well, thank God. Thank God for the muffins. You know, the muffins that you were able to come back to and enjoy after a violent mob nearly murdered you? That was me. You're welcome. I saved the muffins, guys. The muffins were in great danger. We're you know what? I'm so glad that you were there to heroically step in and get in the way of those dastardly muffin thieves that were coming to steal those delicious little confections. Yes, thank you so much. You're a hero. No, okay. I'm not really sure that's a very good defense. Seriously, though. I mean, songs aside, the man was there for one reason, and that was to overturn a lawful election. Whether or not he was out there giving moral support, singing songs, LARPing as a real-life bard/shaman to boost his raid, it doesn't really matter so far as the law says, okay? And the law, his actions were in violation of said law, okay? And at the very least, again, he was taking part in an insurrection. He had a weapon. It was a sharp spear tip with a flagpole, or on a flagpole, that could be used as a deadly weapon. And so not only that, but they weren't where they were supposed to be. And they had a goal of overturning a lawful and legal election and committed these crimes on behalf of Donald Trump. And of course, they're not the first to have done so. Donald Trump seems really good at getting people to do crime on his behalf. All right. And so that said, there's more. So now reporter Laurie Segal also asked Chansley if he regretted his loyalty to Trump. Here's what he said. Quote, I developed a lot of sympathy for Donald Trump because it seemed like the media was picking on him and seemed like the establishment was going after him unnecessarily or unfairly. And I had been a victim of that all my life, whether it be in school or at home. So in many ways, I identify with a lot of the negative things that he was going through. My God. So this is what irritates me. This is what frustrates me, okay? It really gets my goat. It burns my ass, all right? Grinds my gears, whatever you want to say, all right? Donald Trump is not one of us. He's not one of you. He is not a regular person. He's not a working class person. He is a rich man-child narcissist who has never heard the word no in his life. Okay? Always gets what he wants. Always has. At least up until his political career. All right? So he is a con man. A con artist to the nth degree. And I say he's a con man generally, in reference to his business, but also clearly this is his biggest con. To make somebody who has the most power and privilege in the world, was president of the United States, to make that person with all that power and privilege and money into the biggest victim is just, in the eyes of his supporters, it is the biggest con that I have ever bore witness to. It's amazing. I don't know how this happens. That is impressive. And also, I mean, incredibly dangerous. He is not one of you. Never had to struggle. Grew up incredibly wealthy, inherited money from daddy. And yet you've got these people that believe that no, it's that guy. It's the rich guy. It's the boss. That's the real victim. That's the real victim. It really is amazing. How? So now on that. Now, do you notice how Republicans love to say that, people who have been traditionally victimized, and you could see it. There's documentation of this, right? African Americans, indigenous people, LGBTQ plus community, they all love to say that those groups are participating in victim mentality. Victims, you're just perpetual victims all the time. You just want to be a victim. Whereas, and by the way, they call them victims when these people, these communities who have had a lot of things stacked against them, push back and call out actual injustices. But yet, these people, many of whom are wealthy white CEOs, police officers, ex-military, QAnon cultists, they gave up their families, by the way, in pursuit of unhinged conspiracies. They want to tell us that they and Donald Trump are the real victims of this entire thing. You have got to be kidding. You know what? Hold on. Give me a break. All right.
Give me a break.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. It's by the way, here comes the best part. All right. So now he still defends Trump. Quote, I honestly believed and still believe that he cares about the Constitution. Donald Trump's never read the Constitution. Donald Trump doesn't know what's in the Constitution. He knows the Second Amendment and the First Amendment. That's about it. And he thinks his First Amendment extends to his Twitter account, which is ran by a private company. And he believes the Second Amendment, he doesn't even believe in the Second Amendment, really. He had once talked about taking all the guns during his administration. I bet y'all forgot about that one. He only believes in things when it's beneficial to himself. But he continues, he cares about the American people, and that's also why, and you know what wounded me so deeply, and why it disappointed me so greatly that I and others did not get a pardon. He's crying about not getting a pardon. Oh, wonderful. Hey, you didn't get a pardon because he doesn't care about you. He doesn't. He doesn't give a goddamn about you at all, or anyone else for that matter. Do you know who he did pardon? Well, I mean, he pardoned a bunch of people, but one of them was Steve Bannon. Okay, Steve Bannon. The guy that stole money literally from Trump supporters and put it right in his pocket instead of the stupid wall project that, he raised money for. And normally I don't feel bad when, people throw away their money and it's something stupid. For example, the wall grift, right? And that's what it was. They raised a whole bunch of money for sections of a border wall that they didn't even have legal authority to build. And so a lot of that money ended up going in Steve Bannon's pocket, as well as the other guy, Colfage, I believe. And so he put it in his pocket. He bought cars, took trips, had fancy dinners, basically spent that money on himself. And that's who Donald Trump gave a pardon to, because Steve Bannon is useful. Steve Bannon will help Donald Trump continue to get grifts, continue to get money from Trump supporters. It's true. And so But, you know, this guy, Chansley, you have outlived your usefulness, my friend. You are a failure to Donald Trump, personally, because you didn't steal the election for him. All right? He wants nothing to do with any of you unless he can find a new way to monetize you. And I think he already has, by the way. And that's what it is. Donald Trump's already begun asking for donations to his political action committee. So that's already started. The overall point here, as I keep saying over and over, in MAGA world, there are only two kinds of people, and that is the grifters and the marks, the con men and the useful idiots, the person that's shooting someone on Fifth Avenue and the ones who let him get away with it. Which one are you, MAGA guys? If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.